my mom's not concerned about my weight.
Hey guys, so I got tagged in this video, and basically after this part that I cut out, she says that, her mom is not concerned because she goes to doctors and all of her tests work out. And so that's a really dangerous place to be, because lab tests aren't necessarily going to tell you about some of the long-term consequences that being underweight, or as underweight as this person is, can really have, including problems with bone weakness and cardiovascular health, and of course the damage that malnutrition can have on things like her liver and her kidneys. So basic blood work really isn't going to tell her what she's looking for. I mean, of course, she might not be anemic because she's getting enough protein. She might not have a high white blood cell count because she doesn't have an infection. But if they were to get specialized testing, things like a DEXA scan, which checks for bone density, I bet she'd have the bone density of someone much older than her current age. So to answer the question I was tagged in, no, I don't think that this is going to be good for her overall health, and I don't think that any doctor would directly tell her that everything is okay with her BMI the way that it is. What do you guys think? Let me know, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Really just depends if you're new here or not. I'm going to be talking like mildly softer for this video, just strictly because I have a cold, so it's just making my head hurt. I feel like if I talk too loud, it like echoes in my own mind space. It's not a good time. I made a video about Eugenia Cooney again a few days ago, and in that video we basically talked about we're feeling like this is the end of her journey. Eugenia has become such a talking point on the internet literally since she started any form of social media, especially back on YouNow, because everybody was so infatuated with her weight, and it's still a talking point today because it's only gotten worse. At this point, a lot of people, myself included, look at her and we're like, wow, like, she's a medical mystery, because nobody literally thought that she would make it up to this point, unfortunately, and it's not people wishing bad on her, it's just the unfortunate circumstances of what she has done to herself. But now that she has made it to this point, a lot of people are speculating, how much more time does she have? Or is she going to prove to be further in her medical mystery and just make it another few years, and we're all looking at her thinking this is the end, but she still has more gas in the tank to continue going. Now, I said in my last video, I don't know what it is, but whenever you get to the end of something like a phase or an era, or if you're looking at somebody in the end of their life, you start to think about the journey and the beginning of it. And that's where this video is going to come in to play, because we're going to be taking a look, not back at the beginning of her life or anything like that, y'all. We're not like deep diving, but I want to take a look today at a few of her friends that she has had over the years who ended up speaking out about her and just voiced their concern, and she's now isolated and doesn't have any real friends other than allegedly Jeffree Star, but even him and his little friend group have been kind of like pushing Eugenia out. I remember I made a video on the Jaclyn Glenn situation, and she ended up speaking about the Shane documentary. We talked about the Shane documentary prior, talked about how it was scripted, it was staged. They had good intentions though, right? And Eugenia basically came out and it was just a big PR stunt, even though it gave them a lot of profit on both of their ends, and that's pretty much why the documentary was made, to get all eyes on them, to get people talking, and to get that fat paycheck that was associated with it. But if y'all scroll back on my channel, y'all will see that we talked about that documentary, but then y'all will also see the video I made on Jaclyn Glenn, where we talked about her speaking out about the 5150 in the documentary, and all the negative things that was said about Jaclyn Glenn from Eugenia Cooney during that documentary, and it was very sad, unfortunate situation. And in that video, we pretty much talked about how it's very sad, because Eugenia Cooney really did have friends who were rooting for her. They wanted her to get better, they want her to do well, and they wanted her to have a life that she didn't just live, that she thrived in. And today, the circumstance is so sad, because I feel like she's always had social media as kind of like a crutch for validation, but she turned social media into her one and only friend. So now she's looking and talking to all these people on the internet who, at the end of the day, over half of them truly don't give a crap about her, because if they did, they would not be enabling her to be on a platform so that she could take time away to try to get better. But it is what it is. We've talked about that as well. Anyways, this has been like a long, open-winded rant here at the beginning. So I want to get right into this video that Social Repos had made about Eugenia Cooney, and we are going to be going over some more videos that her friends did make about her. Again, we already talked about and covered the Jaclyn Glenn video, so we're going to be covering the Social Repos video. And we're also going to be covering either tomorrow or the next day Johnny Gilbert's video that he ended up making about Eugenia Cooney. Anyways, as I said, I'm not feeling that entirely great today, so just bear with me as I try my best to work through the brain fog of having an illness right now. I am not feeling great, like I said, but anyways, just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. Let's dive right into the video.
Outfit.
I mean, she seems happy, and her makeup looks nice.
The other day too, you guys, and I just totally love it so much. I think it's such a cute outfit. First of all, I have on this like really cute kind of like crop top, tank top kind of thing, and it is added to go with this, you guys. I also have on these super cute like Powerpuff Girl shorts here. I am just super obsessed with these, you guys. They have like all different prints from the show. In the back, it's just kind of got like different prints.
That's heartbreaking. That's really heartbreaking.
Just kind of get little like, I guess like fight sayings. Super cool, like fits part.
To be fair, these outfits aren't revealing. I was kind of expecting something a little more egregious considering the view count. Anytime I see high views on a Eugenia video, it's because there's probably something in there that's prompting people to be upset.
It's like all throughout the
Look at her
shirt,
arms.
so I love this.
I get it that the video is a haul, and I am not in the demographic for this. I do not watch outfit hauls. I do not care about them, regardless of who it is. But we all know that's not why people are watching this. That's not why this has 370,000 views.
Powerpuff Girls tank top here. It says in this like big letters there, Powerpuff Girls. It also just has like this really cute like Powerpuff print on it right there.
This is hard to watch. I feel bad for her because of the obvious, but I also used to be friends with her. And like, it just makes me really sad. I don't know why I was expecting jokes and fun recording this video. It's like morbid.
Before we continue with this video, I just want to say this is Social Repose, aka his name is Richie. I've heard that there's been dramas with him. I know Jacqueline Glenn made videos talking about him. I've heard he wasn't painted in the best light. I don't know the lore, okay? So I just wanted to say, just like as a disclaimer, if he did something terrible, I'm unaware of it, and featuring him on this channel is not an endorsement. I just wanted to hear what he had to say about this Eugenia Cooney situation, because again, this was somebody who spent a lot of time with her on camera and off camera, and they were friends. Now, I'm going to be calling him Richie instead of calling him Social Repose, because I feel like Richie is just, it's easier to continue to say, and it's not going to be like a huge long Social Repose every couple minutes, but Richie made this video, and this video was dated back to 2 years ago, and keep in mind, the content he's reacting to was made from 2 years ago, dating back to 3 years ago, and even earlier on, but looking at that content, a lot of it's still very morbid, and everybody then was looking at her and very concerned, because they was like, oh my goodness, like, you look just as bad, if not worse, than you did when you did that Shane Dawson documentary, like, prior to going into that documentary. Then she did the documentary, and it came out, and she looked, I don't want to trigger anybody by saying this, but she looked healthier than what she did prior. A lot of people really were on her side, and they were Team Eugenia. They were excited to see her attempt this recovery journey. And I think everybody really, there are still fans of Eugenia who's been there from the beginning. And it's sad and unfortunate because she used to have a certain style of content. Sure, a lot of it was still pretty morbid. But at the same time, like, she did stuff, y'all. And it really looked like, if you would look back at that teenager that she was when she first started doing content over on YouTube, sure, a lot of people were concerned for her, but a lot of people still had faith because she was young, she had goals, she had aspirations, like, she had things that she wanted to do, she had a certain content style, and a lot of people really were like, okay, like, yeah, she's not doing the best, but there was hope for her. And then just looking at it today, like, she's definitely a lot worse than she was. Even in the videos that Social Repose is like, yeah, like, this is not great. Leak Faith, I'm not sure how many of y'all are familiar with Leak Faith. I did cover her content in a video that ended up getting age restricted for obvious reasons, because The topics were very, very heavy. I've been thinking about diving back into that situation, but she has passed, so I just don't feel like that would be the respectful thing to do. But at the same time, Leakface said really incredible things and gave her personal insights on Eugenia Cooney because Leakface, for those of you who don't know, struggled with the same disorder that Eugenia has. Well, it's I don't know if it's the exact same because there are different categories under having anorexia, but she struggled with it nonetheless, if that makes sense. But pretty much, y'all, she was saying how it's super unfortunate because they might both be in the same boat health-wise. But Leek was saying how Eugenia basically just hides behind makeup and fashion and masks the disorder itself and tries to make it look like it's this glamorizing thing. And it's not. It's scary, it's terrible, it's turbulent, and it's not something that should be glamorized. And Leak Faith spoke about that multiple times. Yeah, we're going to be diving back into that social repos, aka Richie's video. I know I was like, I'm just going to call him Richie, and here I am, like, social repos. But we're going to be diving back into that video. I want to finish that up, not the entire video, but just the section that I screen recorded, because Eugenia Cooney ended up making a response to that video, and she really danced around the topic of it, and that's why I want to dive into this video today. But again, I apologize for this video in general, because I know it's not like that upbeat. It's morbid. We're talking about Eugenia Cooney, and I'm like not all there energy wise, and I'm not really like editing this video at all or like working on the voice clips or making it pretty, if that makes sense. I guess this is what it would be if I would do a live stream, but like a very I'm sick today and don't have the energy to do a live stream type shit.
Oh no. Day at the beach. 410,000 views 2 months ago. Very recent. I mean, I gotta at least see. Let's just do it.
It's actually been such a long time since I've been to the beach. I thought today was actually supposed to be a really nice day out, and I think that it is supposed to be like pretty warm outside today. Okay, I think it's kind of like caught in my hair. But yeah, it's crazy. I have like my beach bag. Well, wait, yeah, that's my beach bag. And then here, I have this other bag here. I kind of forget what I put in this. You just gotta like pull on this.
Oh my god.
Like, what do you do? There's
It
like
looks
no
like
chair.
CGI.
Like, is this like not a real beach chair or something?
I didn't know it got this bad again. I genuinely didn't know. Every time I see her trending on Twitter, I just think people are bullying her. Like I've defended her for so many years on all my previous videos, but it's very apparent that she's relapsed. And yikes.
This is my beach chair. Doesn't it look
You poor thing.
Doesn't it look like a director chair? Oh my gosh. More?
I think we get the idea.
I want to be very careful with how I word this because I don't want it to come across like wrong. Sometimes I'll think of something in my head. I'm like, yeah, it's a good point to make. But then I try to make the point and the plane just like tries to land on the runway. Then it's like, no, not this one. Just lifts up again. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't say that right. But there's the plane's gone again. There is a time and a place to defend people. I don't think people should be bullying her, okay? I don't think that you should look at her and bully her and talk shit. It is what it is. You can have your opinions, but I think there is a fine line to having an opinion and a valid point and then just straight up being a bully to her. And it's okay to defend her. It is, because there are certain times when it's okay to defend somebody. And I've seen certain situations in the past where I'm like, oh, that was kind of rough. You know what I mean? Like, can the plane please come back so I can make my point? Sure, Eugenia's a vile person. She's done vile things in the past. She does vile things today. I'm sure she's going to continue to do them in the future. She has been a bully to people in the past, but I don't feel like bullying her back is going to make it acceptable. I don't think two wrongs would make something right. And if she's straight up being bullied, it's okay to defend her in situations like that, but you have to really think long and hard before you defend her content and her as an individual, because, like I said, I don't encourage bullying, but at the same time, it's almost karma at this point. because you can't do all these vile things and expect vile things not to come back at you at some given point or time. With that being said, though, at the same time, her content is very pro-Anna. A lot of people are like, oh, but she doesn't glamorize it, she doesn't talk about it, da, da, da. She has opened up about it in the past, and she genuinely flashes her skin and bones. Like, she's literally just a bag of bones at this point with skin over them. And it's very unfortunate. But yeah, I think people who try to defend her content, especially how he said, oh, I didn't realize it got this bad when I seen people hating on her over on X, I just assumed, like, it was to hate on her. Just to hate on her. But she's done a lot of things that warrant people to talk about it, and awareness needed to be brought to the situation because she is glamorizing it. And in her response, even, there's somebody who's like, dude, you've been such a huge inspiration to me, and you helped me through high school. And it's gross because somebody even in that live stream was like, dude, you should be a youth counselor. Like, you have such great advice for kids. And it gets to the point where it's like, keep your kids off the internet if you're not going to watch what they're doing on the internet, because they're going to be coming across people like Eugenia Cooney and looking up to her.
But she actually live streams a lot, and that spawned so much speculation, so many different theories why she continues to reject professional help. Let's talk about it. Her presence is inescapable. The speculation and conspiracies swirling around her have been reaching a critical mass. At first, in 2018, when we stopped being friends, I assumed it was her mother. I've met her mother. I've hung out with her mother. She seems like a very nice lady. But so does Eugenia.
Oh, my mom's here. Oh, by the way, I just remember this because they're watching still.
Can you turn it down that way for a minute?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Oh, okay. Biggest. So she's kind of like not wanting to be seen right now. She's like naked right now. Oh my gosh. Wait.
Don't tell everybody.
Oh, sorry. She's.
For a minute, I gotta go.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's turned. I'm sorry. I was just kidding.
Completely.
I know it's turned. I understand.
But I feel like I haven't actually met either of them. Eugenia always seemed like she put on a face around anyone she was with. There was always a wall or a buffer between you, her, and what she really thought, or perhaps what she was really like. Now, if I were to speculate on why she does that and why she feels like she can't be real with anyone, I would be no better than the T channels, and those are mere peasants. We're above that. And
Personal jab, because here comes little old me revoke the T channel. The peasant. I feel like it's okay to speculate. I do. As long as it's not, like, bizarre. But even saying that, I'm like, hold on, because I've said a lot of bizarre shit too in the past, but it is what it is. I feel like if you're putting yourself on the internet, and I firmly believe this, you're not safe. Anybody can make a video talking about what you talked about, speculating on what you talked about, speculating on you. You put yourself out there on the internet. You can respond to those people if you want to, but it's the damn internet. If you're putting something out there, especially something as curious as the case of Eugenia Cooney, there is going to be a lot of people talking about it and speculating. It is what it is, and she kind of did this to herself at this point, because instead of answering questions, she will dead-ass dance around them like it's a fucking rain dance that she's trying to do, and it hasn't rained in months, and she's, like, dancing around a fire trying to get the shit to rain. I don't know, y'all. But, she warrants speculation at this point, instead of just being real. And I understand there's a lot of people who have trouble fully expressing themselves or understanding social situations and not knowing how to properly say your opinion without it coming across wrong. Or I've definitely said things in the past that I meant to sound better, but it came out wrong and didn't turn out well, you know. But it's the internet, you know, it's just the internet. And I feel like if you can be real with anybody, it can be strangers, you know. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. I was trying to make a good point with this, but again, I'm not feeling great today, so my brain's just kind of like shutting down on me mid-thought. Just like it does any other good day, but I don't think it's wrong to speculate. I don't think it's wrong to ask questions. I think it's genuinely just human nature to be curious about something, to have questions, to speculate on it, to to wonder why, you know? And even he said, like, he didn't realize it got this bad, and he don't even feel like he's ever met the real Eugenia Cooney. He feels like there is a buffer, in his words, put between them because she could be real to a point. But even he said, look, I've hung out with her. I've spent countless hours online and offline with her, and I don't feel like I've ever met the true Eugenia Cooney. Hence, my channel has been one big ball of speculation to find out why that is, because even I've said, I don't feel like Eugenia is being her true, authentic self. I feel like she wants to paint a certain image and narrative of who she is, that she blocks out a lot of the real things that she's done. Even the past videos that she's put out on the internet that are literally digital footprint, going to be online forever, she will deny them. Be like, oh, I never did that. I never said that. But it's literally on the internet. And maybe it's because she's never truly had a sense of identity. She's always been at home. She's always lived at home. She's always been under Deb's wing and under Deb's care. She was even pulled out of school for alleged bullying, even though we've seen videos and we covered it in the past. We speculated, was she the bully? Because some things that she was saying back and forth to a friend on Facebook was kind of like, why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like bully vibes and mentality right there. But maybe she's never had a true sense of identity, that even she doesn't truly know who she is. And she's never really been in social situations that much. She's had a handful of friends. Maybe she doesn't know how to be herself. And this is literally her image now, because yeah, let's just get back to the video. I don't know what I'm even trying to get at.
During that time towards the end of our friendship, I introduced her to a group of people who shall not be named because I'd prefer not to go through another witch trial. But I remember they all voiced their concern for her. What should we do? How can we help her? What are our options? And we all agreed that it was her family. It couldn't have possibly been Eugenia and this debilitating mental disorder that is, and long term. And once I was away from all that, I heard what had happened. They hung out with her, they tried to do an intervention, and they got her 5150'd. And directly after that, she cut all of them off. And last time I heard, she has no IRL friends anymore, just her family and her stream, which has turned into this terribly abusive relationship between her biggest supporters, which very clearly have Anna kinks, which is a whole nother topic.
Be a little messed up. Oh my gosh, what? Sunshine! That is so sweet. Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable.
And the constant trolls and bullying, accusing her of wearing a diaper or monitoring her every move or stalking her or doxing her and just living this very high stress existence. And it's clear that all of this is getting to her.
Okay, like everyone just comes in my streams like literally to attack me lately, okay? It's like, why do you guys do this to me? Seriously. Like, I don't know why I owe you guys an explanation for everything.
But the counter argument to all of this as to why everyone is so unsympathetic, all the empathy has washed away and turned into anger and aggression and just a general sense of resentment towards Miss Cooney. And for a while, I shared that same sentiment. Why can't you get better? Why are you doing this to all of us? It's even gotten to the point where people petition to have her removed off of social media, primarily YouTube, but also other platforms, in hopes that will finally force her into getting treatment. Every person I've talked to that is so-called concerned about Eugenia always has two talking points. The first point being, look at her, she looks sick, she looks very unwell. And secondly, she's promoting. While I understand where these points are coming from, saying that the condition of her body is grounds to have her business shut down, terminated, and erased from the internet is a very scary precedent to set. I hate to break it to some of you, but a lot of people on the internet look like shit, and their accounts aren't even close to being stricken down. So I don't think this point holds up, and I don't think it's fair to have Eugenia's account terminated simply because she doesn't look well. And on the topic of people saying she promotes eating, I hear the most I also wholeheartedly disagree with that one.
Now, I agreed with a lot of the stuff he was saying in his video up until that point. Hi, I'm Revoke. Y'all know me at this point, and y'all know I'm a firm believer that she is promoting disorders for multiple reasons. One, we're going to list them off real quick. Y'all can agree with me or disagree with me. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about what I'm about to say next. But 1, the flashing. 2, body checking on camera. 3, making sure that her bones are showing. And 4, am I at 4? Whatever. Next point, comparing her weights with her audience members who are also on a journey to get down to look like what she is. And she congratulates them for it. She literally said, oh yeah, cool, good job, I'm literally around that weight too. And it's sad, it's unfortunate, it really is, but promoting something and endorsing something can come in many different forms of how you do it. I'm a firm believer that she does do that, and that's like her niche content. And she had to stop doing it as much whenever she got hit with an age restriction and ban on TikTok. Not a ban, I'm so sorry, demonetization. Now, each platform that she is a part of, whether it be Twitch, the YouNow, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, there's all different communities that gather there, and it's probably due to the terms of service and what's acceptable. Twitter is literally the wild, wild west. I've said it multiple times. I don't use Twitter for that reason. You can literally go on there and see somebody being decapitated. It's insane what's allowed on Twitter. Oh wow, I'm just like getting flashbacks to how bad it actually is over there. Like PTSD from that shit. But the thing about it is, the community that is fostered over on Twitter surrounding Eugenia is absolutely disgusting. There's so many people who body checks and takes images of themselves very, very frail and unhealthy and posts them over to Twitter in comparison to Eugenia Cooney. And while Eugenia, and this is all again speculation because I truly do think that this is the goal for her, is to foster these types of communities, while she may not have said directly, I want this to take place, I want people to compare, let's set goals together. I know for a fact she's seen it because she watches channels as small as ours. She hears about channels as small as ours, so she has to hear about the bigger situations surrounding her, which is Twitter right now, and all the bad stuff that goes on over on Twitter, y'all. I cannot even show it. I have wanted to make a video about it in the past, but I genuinely cannot show anything from Twitter here because it's so against the terms of service. But if that's not the image or the look or the promotion or your goal to have that being done on the internet, which again, I'm not saying she is aware, I'm just saying I'm fairly certain that she does know about it. This is again speculation. Why would you be okay with that? You know, and if you do see that being done in comparison to you, and that's not what you wanted, you would cover yourself. You would stop the checking. You would stop the flashing. You would stop showing off every single bone in your body. Because that wouldn't be the goal of what you wanted people to do with the content that they just witnessed. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, it is promoting it. And again, that's not the whole reason why. I said there's tons of other reasons why I think that she is creating pro-ana content. But again, I agreed with him up until that point in the video. Then I was like, how are you just not aware that there's so much circulating around Eugenia Cooney? But like I said, she made a somewhat response to the social repost video because somebody had asked her about it in her Twitch chat one day. Hey, did you see Richie's video? What do you think about it? And she kind of danced around the topic of it, but then also I'm going to be including a clip from like the beginning portion of that stream where she had talked about being a counselor for the youth, a youth counselor. She's not, clearly, but somebody in her chat was like, you would make a really good youth counselor. And she's like, well, I've never had like training, but like, yeah. Let's dive into it.
If you give great advice, you would make an awesome youth counselor. Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't know, guys. Like, I definitely don't want to tell you guys, like, my advice is always perfect or anything like that. Like, I'm definitely not trained in this stuff or anything crazy like that. But it's like, you know, of course, if you guys are, like, going through a hard time, I always at least want to, like, try to help if I can. Oh, Katie, wow, thank you. I love you too. And thank you. My day's been pretty good. I hope that you've had an amazing day today. What does his video at the end mean? I'm so confused. Oh, with Richie? Oh yeah, I kind of got a little off base of talking about that, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, yeah, I know Richie, I guess, made a video about me too. And you know, it's all good. You know, I really appreciate that again. Like I feel like the end of the video kind of confused me too, to be honest. I really want to, like, you know, say that I appreciate a lot of things he said, because I feel like a lot of time people just like assume that I'm like this terrible person and that I have like these evil intentions all the time and stuff like that. So I mean, that's kind of always a thing. So, and then sometimes when I see like these people being like, stop like talking to Eugenia, like leave her, like whatever, I don't know, it just kind of will make me feel worse sometimes. So I really appreciate that, you know, because this isn't only about me, guys. Like, this isn't me saying, like, oh, you have to be nice to me. You have to be positive towards me. You can't say anything negative against me. But I just think when it comes to, like, people in general, I just think that a lot of time, like, if you're just kind of being mean to people or being like, okay, I'm done with you, like, whatever, like, it just kind of sometimes can make people feel worse and maybe put them in like a worse mind state or just like whatever, you know? And I just kind of think like generally just kind of like being more positive and being like kind to people, like that's what actually like would help people more and like make people like, you know, feel better and just like not feel like a dark of a place, I guess. That's not me lying, guys. I see like some comments like liar, you try to get attention, like whatever. It's like, guys, that's not me trying to get attention. That's just my like genuine opinion. And I mean, I don't really see why that would make me a liar. I'm just saying that, you know, kind of like treating people like people, because I feel like sometimes people like forget that, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we really are just kind of all people, and we're, you know, we're just humans and stuff. And I just kind of feel like treating people like actual people and just kind of being kind to people just like makes people feel better than just kind of constantly putting people down. That's my opinion. If that makes me a liar, I'm sorry.
Missy Ma'am needs to go on Dancing with the Stars. Just the way that she's able to dance around simple questions. Like, what do you think about that Richie video? She just went off on like a 2.5 minute rant of literally nothing. Just being like, yeah, I just think that we need to be nice to people and da-da-da. And I know, you know, I appreciate his video, but at the same time, like, I just think we need to be nice to each other and da-da. What the hell? Like, she didn't even really answer that person. Again, I don't know social repos. I just know of that video. I've heard of him, like I said, I've heard of him like through Jacqueline Glenn and stuff, but I've never really watched the videos to catch up on the lore of who he is. And just because he was featured on this channel today, I want to be very clear, that's not like an endorsement of him by any means, but I did like that video that I watched because I thought it was very well put together. I just didn't agree with him there at the end when he said like she's not pushing pro-ana content. And I feel like that's like subjective. It's just an opinion that people have, but that's just what I believe that she's doing. And again, this is allegedly. Now, I quickly do want to address, though, before we wrap out the video, her talking about how being rude to somebody can put them in a worse mind state. And this is why I said I think that it would be best for her if she would leave the internet for a while. At this point, it's never going to happen, but I feel like if she would have taken a break from streaming for just a while, just to get her confidence built up, just so she can find out who she is without the validation of all these strangers on the internet, it could have been better for her in the long run. But she has such a digital footprint that even if she would have stopped streaming for periods of time to try to get better for herself or just like build confidence, find out who she is, she has so many videos and everything up everywhere, literally everywhere, that she still would have seen comments, still would have had to go through that cycle of the mix of validation and the mix of hate that she gets. And again, I don't know, Eugenia is such a subject. She really is. You know, you have to have tough skin to be on the internet, and that's easy to say as a small content creator because I don't have that many of y'all watching me and talking about me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very small content creator, so I don't know what it's like to have a mass amount of eyes on me, such as Eugenia. But I can imagine it's a lot harder than it would be if you were a small creator, like, for obvious reasons. But you have to have tough skin to be on the internet. Whether you're a small creator or a large creator, people are going to talk about you. And if you're a large creator, you know automatically more people are going to be talking about you. I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I'm not feeling well today, so my thoughts really were not thought processing. So this video is probably a shit show, a mess, awful. It is what it is. But the next video will be better. But since I didn't upload yesterday, I was like, you know what? If I'm just going to be sitting here watching videos today, I can at least talk about it mildly. I have like a cold in my chest, but then like also in my head, and I just feel like, you know, to keep like catching my breath. I'm just not feeling great at all today, and like my head feels foggy. But this, I guess, is what it would kind of be like if like I would live stream or something, like just genuinely sitting here talking without trying to make a video. Here I am ranting away. I'm gonna wrap this shit up because that's exactly what it's been. It's been shit. I will admit to that much. Goodbye, subscribers. I'm probably gonna lose all of you after this terrible upload. But with that being said, I am gonna rest for the rest of the day. I'm not doing anything. I took off work today because I don't feel well. And I'm genuinely just gonna sit my ass down and watch some Netflix, drink some tea, eat some oranges, have a good banana or something, just like try to put protein, get calcium, feel better. And my voice probably sounds so terrible. I probably sound like I got hit with a train, like dead ass on my throat. I'm so happy I don't watch my content back to hear it. But with that being said, yes, I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope you all feel good, and I will see you there.